Most successful people love to credit their skills and expertise. But the uncomfortable truth is that luck is the silent partner in everyone's success story. That random variance, those unexpected events, they shape everything. Did you know that Shopify, the second largest e-commerce company in the United States, actually started as a snowboarding company? And that Samsung, the tech giant, actually started as a grocery store? Random chance plays a massive role in everyone's life. And if you aren't engineering situations where you can get lucky, then you are leaving money on the table. I'm Terrell Higgins, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can stack the odds in your favor and how I've used these strategies to build real wealth. Let's get into it. So here's the uncomfortable truth about luck. Most people think life's outcomes look something like this: a normal distribution. Some really bad outcomes, some really good outcomes, but most people just fall in the middle. But this is wrong. Real life has something that statisticians like to call fat tails. So this translates to those extremely bad outcomes and those extremely good outcomes actually happen way more often than you would think. Let me give you an example that'll make you never look at the beach the same way again. August 10th, 2022, Tammy Perrault, a 63-year-old, is enjoying a beautiful day at the beach in South Carolina. Just another tourist of the 20 million that visit Myrtle Beach every single year. A random gust of wind picks up a beach umbrella and the spiky end impales her in the chest. 1 hour later, she dies. But here's the crazy part. There are 3,000 emergency room visits every year due to beach umbrella injuries. And that's dozens of times more likely than a shark attack. Extremely bad outcome? Absolutely. But it is far more likely than you would anticipate. Now let's flip this around. If you are watching this right now, you won the 1 in 250 million lottery just to be born. You outswam other competitors just to exist. And you were born in a country where even broke means you have access to a smartphone and internet. And I'm not trying to minimize your grind if you feel broke or stuck, but I'm trying to acknowledge the starting line that you've been handed. And I'm going to show you how to sprint from here. You had zero control over any of this, but these accidents of birth give you a massive advantage over the rest of the world. And if you're this lucky already, the question is, why aren't you leveraging it? And here's what no one tells you about luck. So Samuel L. Jackson acted for 15 years and was age 42 before he got his first major movie role. Now, he is the highest grossing actor of all time. Walmart, Target, Kohl's, they were all founded within a few months of each other in 1962. All super successful. And there are thousands of other actors and thousands of other companies just as talented, just as skilled, that all die quietly. So what's the difference? They caught that random gust of wind in history, and that made all the difference. Here's the brutal truth. Timing matters just as much as talent. You can have all the skills in the world and work harder than everyone else, but if your timing is wrong, you get nothing. And here's the part that stings. Being early is indistinguishable from being wrong. So how do you solve this timing problem? How do you stay in the game long enough so that when your lucky break comes along, you can actually take advantage? Annie Duke, the legendary poker player, said it best. There are exactly two things that determine how our lives turn out: the quality of our decisions, and luck. Life is poker, not chess. It's a game of probabilities, not perfection. So you need to stay consistent and disciplined, and most importantly, never make any bets that can bankrupt you. You need to stay in the game long enough, building your skills and expertise, so when that lucky opportunity actually arrives, you can capitalize on it. But here's where things get practical. Okay, this is where most finance videos lose people with jargon. Not this one. I'm going to explain something called human capital portfolio management. But the trick is, I'm going to make it so simple, you're going to wonder why no one told you this before. Ready? Your job is an asset. All the future money that you're going to make from your job is basically a stock or bond in your portfolio. But here's the game changer. Different jobs behave like different investments. Low risk income is like a bond. If you're a tenured professor, a pharmacist, a healthcare professional, that stable, predictable paycheck that is not going anywhere, your income is like a bond. But because your income is safe, you can actually take more risk with your investments. More stocks, more aggressive bets, because you have that income cushion. High risk income is like a stock. Entrepreneur, commission-based sales, investment banking, tech worker. Your job's tied to the economy, it's volatile, and it can disappear overnight. So your income is already a stock. And because your income is more risky, you need to take less risk with your investments. You need more stability to be more conservative. You're essentially managing your risk. Here's the rule. Volatile job plus volatile investments equals extreme outcomes, either extremely good or extremely bad. Stable job plus stable investments equals stuck in the middle forever. So the trick is you need to balance the two. Build a stable base and then place small strategic bets with massive upside. If they hit, they push you into the extreme good outcomes. And if they fail, your overall financial security is untouched. This is called asymmetric investing. Small downside, massive upside. And I actually did an entire video on different asymmetric investments that you can make if you're curious. But I'm going to show you how I actually implement this in my personal finances. So full transparency, this is not financial advice. It's just my personal situation, and it might help you think through your own. So my career, I work at a nuclear power plant in the control room, so I'm basically Homer Simpson. It's highly technical, it takes forever to get qualified, it's shift work, and it's boring as hell. So not that many people want to do it or can do it. My career is a bond. My marriage, 14 years married and together for over 20. And nobody talks about this, but who you marry can either wreck or supercharge your finances. A divorce will blow up even the best financial plan. My marriage is a bond. I have real estate, which is recurring, predictable income. Real estate is a bond. My baseline finances, no flashy house, no flashy car, no expensive hobbies, living well below my means, maxing out my 401k for over a decade. Bonds, 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 bonds. And if I just did these things for 30 years, I'd end up in the upper half of the bell curve. A great life. But I believe in asymmetry. And here's where I get aggressive. My taxable brokerage is way more aggressive than my 401k. I have a small position of Bitcoin. And after hitting accredited investor status, my wife and I started investing in early stage companies. Most of them will fail, but one winner will make up for all the losers. And my wife's career is slightly more volatile than mine. This is human capital portfolio management in action. A stable base, small strategic asymmetric bets. You stay in the game and you hope to get lucky. But what does this mean for you? Here's your action plan. Step 1 is to assess your job's volatility. If it's stable, you can take more risk with your investments. And if it's volatile, then you need to be more conservative with your investments. And step 2 is if you change careers, you need to change your portfolio. If you switch from a stable job to entrepreneurship, then you should pivot your portfolio to being more conservative to manage that risk. And if you go from a risky job to super stable income, then you can make more calculated risk with your investments. And step 3 is what I like to call the 10% rule. So that 10% rule is saying that no more than 10% of your time or money should be dedicated to these asymmetric investments. So if they work out, you get a massive, great outcome. And if they don't, your end result is pretty much the same. So examples would be a side hustle in your area of expertise, or making an investment that has 10x potential, or even introducing a new product or service in an existing business. So when Amazon introduced Amazon Web Services, it seemed like it was out of line with their core business. They were targeting enterprise clients instead of individual consumers. But now, Amazon Web Services is actually the most profitable segment of Amazon's business, and it represents over 60% of their profit every quarter. But here's a variance increasing activity that most people ignore: networking. And I know all my introverts in the audience just had a little mini panic attack, but stay with me. Networking events and gatherings increase the variance in your life. It's a small time commitment with unpredictable results. They could result in nothing, or it could be a new romantic partner, a new business partner, a new investment opportunity, or a new idea that helps you push through a roadblock that you have in your life. You literally never know. That's the point. You need these activities with variance in your life, because without them, you can't get lucky. Step out of your comfort zone, and you never know where it's going to lead. Life is a game of probabilities. So the strategy is to build out a stable baseline to limit your downside risk. You place a few small strategic asymmetric bets, so you give yourself the opportunity to get lucky. And you stay consistent to maximize your time in the game and give yourself the opportunity for the timing to line up. You do this, and you're not really relying on luck anymore. You're engineering it. Expertise plus planning, consistency, and time means that you made your own luck. If this video changed how you think about getting lucky, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Because I'm here to transform your finances and not just give you more talking head information. And the YouTube algorithm thinks this is the next video that you need to be watching in your finance transformation journey. Keep getting 1% better every day, and I'll catch you in the next video.